All right, everybody, Rob Ferretti here, and I've got some good news. Well, the good news is Xavier's okay. I know that was a concern. I just want to let you know Xavier has now reached out to me after the posting of the previous video, which he came up, I don't want to say came up with a story, he presented the story to me, and I'll get right to it. So after many attempts through Memorial Day weekend to get in touch with him, no response from either email, his secondary phone number, or anything like that. But he obviously knows I know who he is now. And he sent me a message on Instagram saying, I've been scammed. I'm filing a police report with my municipality as well as my bank. I will provide you with the reference numbers for the reports. I had my bank, Cash App, and Apple Pay hacked. I'm just getting a new phone, and I'm truly sorry for this inconvenience. I literally lost my entire savings. I'm on the phone with my bank. I was advised by a law enforcement agent that I must start with my bank. Please don't open any messages like this. And I guess this is a good PSA. Thank you to Xavier. And he sent me an absolute blatant scam message, which has no bearing with, nobody clicks on this. It's, hey, check out what I did with your pictures. Don't get mad. Ha, ha, ha. I made this with your pictures. Don't hate me. Yo, same thing. Hello, same thing. Nobody clicks on those. So if he clicked on those, I don't even want to know what to begin. But in order to believe that, we'd have to also believe that he had been scammed. He is saying he has, I don't want to get into too much, but he says he has some money to his name and he will bring it to me. He's no longer using money transferring services. So please let me know when a good time to meet up is. I feel like poop, I idolize you, and this is a bad impression, right? So I responded now after these messages. I said, so you're saying it wasn't you I was speaking to on the phone, as if like his identity was stolen. We did in fact speak, he said. I did find the equipment you requested. The issue started when I transferred the payment from PayPal to my bank account. I have to work with the Essex County Prosecutor's Office. They have a cyber crimes unit. Very good, we're escalating. I said, can you get me the contact for the Essex County Prosecutor's Office? Since my money is also involved, I would like to be a part of it. Was your phone disconnected, or why did you not reach out until now? All very valid questions. I had switched phone numbers as an added security measure. I only downloaded Instagram specifically to reach out to you, and yes, I'm on the phone with Chase Bank, and of course I will get you that information. That is fine. I'll call you when I get off the phone with the bank. I said, sure, can you give me your new number? He said, yes, sir, and he gave me his new number. We'll come back to that in a second. So let me start by saying Xavier is claiming that he was scammed, and that's why this all fell apart. So he was supposed to show up to me on Thursday, then Friday, didn't show up at all. The units he said he was picking up and bringing up apparently weren't even on the truck. I'm having a hard time with all of this, and I'll fast forward to the ending, and we'll get back to the ending later, but he said he's going to pay me back. Here's more that developed that I forgot about in the last video. So Xavier actually, and let me just shoot some holes in some of this. Xavier reached out to me and he mentioned the guy who was working on some of my cars right now. And he mentioned his name and he's like, oh yeah, I'm friends with this guy. I was like, that's like instant credibility to have a guy that I'm working with that you're also like, there's mutual contacts here. That gives credibility. And I find out only after I posted the video that the guy that's working on my cars said, I know exactly who scammed you. I was like, well, and he's like, that guy asked me if I could put in a good word for him to you, and I said, no, I wouldn't. I'm like, when somebody does that, right? When somebody says like, can you help me out and put in a good word? And you say no, you should probably reach out to the guy and say, if this guy reaches out, I'm not like, he's a mutual, but I'm not vouching for him in any way, shape, or form. And this mechanic also showed me a message that Xavier asked to borrow money from him the day prior. So like, hey, I need you to lend me this money so I can cover my car insurance. It's all pointing to the situation that somebody needed money and he got desperate, and then he thought he saw me as the honeypot, stuck his hand in, not expecting to get caught. I mean, I have a hard time, I get it. Like, times are tough right now, but I just have a hard time believing the amount of effort that goes into this. And I'm not going to get into what was turned up, if it is accurate, not accurate. I didn't start getting into it because it's amazing how many like private investigators and everything follow me. You guys are awesome. Like, I get so many people reach out with so much access, and it's like, here's his name, here's this, here's this, here's this. And I'm like, wow, this is awesome. So I thank the rest of you. I guess I sort of see it like when you have a puzzle in front of you, you want to get in there and solve it. My brain works the same way. So I do appreciate the guys that reached out from both, from the professionals that reached out to offer help in this situation. One of them did turn up that he may have done stuff like this and gotten caught in the past and has something like that on his record. But again, that's not verified, so I don't want to, it's a possibility. But it fits into the overall picture, if that makes sense. So if we fast forward a little bit more, that gives him some context that he did, because Xavier did drop the mechanic's name, so that did provide a little comfort in my head. We went back and forth on the police matter. I asked if he had any contacts, and he said he didn't yet. He left a message, so that's a half-assed attempt. He said he has somebody who works in the office, and they mentioned that due to COVID-19, all resources are on COVID relief, so any contacts I have, he'd appreciate. Not really buying that, right? Like, police don't stop investigating crimes because of, the cops aren't doing corona relief. Like, cops are doing cop stuff and writing tickets. So I just cut right to the chase. I said, what are your plans to pay me back? He said he's going to sell some stuff and work some jobs to come up with the money. So here again is a situation where my money went to somebody and it evaporated, and then whether or not there was equipment or not is a different story. I said, as long as there is a priority and payment plan in the short term, I won't pursue legal remedies, saying like, I'm not going to go to the cops over $1,300 as long as you actually pay me back. He asked me to give him a call. I ultimately called him. But I said, can you also send me a picture of the units you picked up for me just so I can get some comfort that there's legitimacy here, right? Just like saying that I'm sniffing through this story and I'm not feeling good about it, so why don't you provide a little bit of proof. He said, I never had the opportunity to pick anything up. I went to my bank to withdraw the funds, and I was made aware of the fraudulent activity, which means as I sent him this money, somebody was just hacking his system and taking the money on the spot. That's how this is all playing out. I just got the phone today, and I trust me, the last thing I need for you is to think I duped you. I'm not trying to sound like an ASS, but I know you're connected and definitely have more resources than I do. I'm just trying to get you the money back, and I'll deal with my bank and the prosecutor's office. My intentions were to use my own funds to make the purchase and get repaid by you in person. The last thing I need is, and I say this with no offense, is you pursuing legal action. So when you're available, give me a ring. That's when I called him. We discussed it on the phone. And he stated that he was going to pay me back within the next 30 days. Now, I don't think I'm believing any of this. When you start adding everything up, and at the end of the day, I don't really care if he's duped me out of the money and he's going to pay me back. Like, as far as I'm concerned, it's good and we're done. But I saw somebody who needed money effectively, came up with a story. My mechanic said the guy didn't even know who I was until like 2 months ago when this guy started working on my car. So to pretend like he cares what I think about him is, I think, sort of a load of horse poop. But there's your update. So I've spoken to him. There was a scam, but he says he was scammed and my money just happened to be sucked into the toilet bowl with his. So there's your update. 30 days from now, I will let you know what happens. Let me know your thoughts. I'm not really buying it, but I don't really care. If I don't get any money from him, then I'll sort of go to the cops. I obviously know who he is. He gave me his new phone number. Whatever the story is, it's real fishy, right? Doesn't smell good. But at the end of the day, if I get my money back, to me, I'm done and over with, and we're good. So stay tuned. I'll let you know what happens in a couple of weeks if I get anything. But right now, the focus is on that sign guy because tomorrow's Friday, and we hope that sign gets installed. Speaking of that sign, I'm going to stop selling those Gotham Dream Cars shirts with the big S. Once that sign gets replaced, or at least at the end of the week, they're all going to get pressed next week, and then they'll go in the mail to you guys. So if you want one, do it before Sunday, and Monday morning the order goes in, and we'll get them in the mail, and you guys will be wearing them and repping Gotham Dream Cars with the big S. They're going to be collector's items because the sign has got, like, whether this guy doesn't fix the sign, I'm going to fix it myself. One way or another, that's getting fixed too. Rob Ferretti, thanks for watching. Check in tomorrow where we'll get back to our regularly scheduled car programming. So you guys are familiar with my other company, Adventure Drives, right? Well, this year we've got 2 trips coming up. One which is starting in Seattle and ending in Jackson Hole in July. That's going up through the Canadian Rockies, coming down through Banff, Yellowstone, Glacier National Park, and Grand Teton National Park. It's going to be phenomenal. Also, we're going to be going to Scotland in October. We're going to be doing Scotch distilleries, playing golf at St. Andrews if you want to do that, walking around, seeing lakes, waterfalls, driving the North Coast. It's going to be an amazing trip. Prices start as low as $2,500 per person for the shorter trip in Scotland, about double that for the longer trip in July. If you're interested in going, check out the link in the description.